think that you have to get away from this begin with the end mindset. If you really want to enjoy what you're doing and you really want to put your all into something, just stop thinking about the end of it. Hello and welcome back to the Samuel Bell podcast. So guys, today we're going to be talking about beginning with the end in mind. Well, with a slight tweak. I want to start this off by saying that this is honestly terrible advice. I understand where it comes from and I understand where it's applicable, but given to the wrong person, this advice can actually be very harmful and lead to a life of emptiness and misery and honestly just a lot of regret. So I know it's really heavy kind of jumping straight into it, but I actually read this a few years ago. There's a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, granted, I understand that I don't know everything about success. I don't know everything about effective people. I don't know everything about everything. But I do understand that this book was written to a certain person and not everyone. I also understand that this book, again, if you read the title, it's for effective people, not necessarily fulfilled people or even successful people. It's effective people, which begin with the end in mind is a very effective way to think, which is why I'm saying this isn't necessarily terrible advice in the sense of getting things done. It's just terrible advice when it comes to planning to live your life this way. Here's what I mean. So I have to kind of turn back the clock a little bit. So in my early 20s, late teens, I actually did network marketing for a while and I learned a ton. I learned a lot. Honestly, being in network marketing really set the foundation for all the success principles and all of the books I read and all of the podcasts I listen to now. It kind of just set my brain up for this success mindset, or it just took this kid out of, the normal world and kind of threw him into this business world, kind of threw me into, getting around these people who wanted to actually develop themselves. They actually wanted to grow and they wanted to be something more than just an employee or even just a normal person. They wanted to be better than average. And so taking an 18-year-old, throwing him into an environment like that, I got around a lot of wealthy people, a lot of successful people, read a lot of books, like I said, listened to a lot of audios and podcasts, and got a good association and had mentorship and all this stuff. And one of the first things I heard was begin with the end in mind. And I lived that way for 7 years, up until I was 25, almost 26. And let me tell you, it worked when it comes to being effective, being productive. It worked when it came to getting the job done. But I was never actually excited about anything. I just was kind of living every day just to get to the next step.